Hello, my name is Leah. Welcome to this video where what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at how we can convert this high poly model into our low poly model. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first is I'm going to press the Control A key and I'm going to go ahead and select everything. And then I'm going to go up to the layers panel and I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer here. So let's go ahead and click the create new layer and I'm going to call this high, just like so. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take all this. We're going to right click. We're going to go ahead and choose clone, choose copy. And then with those clone pieces, let's go ahead and create a new layer and call this low. So now what we can do is we can click the little light bulb here and this will go ahead and hide the high poly mesh. And we just want to go ahead and deal with a low polygon mesh. So what we need to do is start to remove some of the detail here, and then once we've done that we can go ahead and hide those pieces. So let's start with the main face here. Let's go ahead and go to the modify panel and I'm going to go and select all these and choose remove, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing just like this and go ahead and choose remove. So in order to remove that, I'm just pressing the Control backspace and that deals with that. And once we've done that, I can right click and choose high selection. So that's no longer in our, that's no longer visible. Let's go ahead and take the back piece here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and select just the center piece. I'm going to choose grow. I'm going to press the Control I to invert and press delete because we don't actually need that amount of detail there. I'm just going to go ahead and reset the pivot point for this as well. Also, now go ahead and choose high selection. All right, next thing is we can go ahead and deal with the this wood part here. So let's go and remove the turbo smooth, and then we can convert this to an S4 poly. Let's go ahead and press Control A and make sure everything's on the same smoothing group. That looks like it is. Right click and go ahead and choose high selection. Okay, again the same thing here with this metal piece over here. I'm going to remove the turbo smooth and then go ahead and choose high selection. And then we can go ahead and deal with these pieces. So let's go ahead and just delete the turbo smooth for the feet of the radial. Go ahead and choose delete. And once we've done that, we can go ahead, select all these and choose high selected. Now the buttons here, what we're going to do is we're going to take these buttons and we're going to attach them all as one piece, just like so. And I'm actually not going to decrease the resolution of these buttons. I think that this is going to be okay. We can go ahead and take this and let's go ahead and choose delete, and let's go and remove these edges right here. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this edge and this edge. And let me have a look at how much detail here is in the corner. So I'm going to go and double click. Yeah, I'm going to double click here and remove this. And I'm going to do the same thing over here and over here. With that being done, let's go ahead and choose auto smooth. So I'll just remove everything and choose auto smooth. And once we've done that, we can, let me just check these two of these. Yep, these two look fine. All right, once we've done that, we can go ahead and high selection. Let's go ahead and delete the turbo smooth off here, something like this, and we can go ahead and remove this and this, this, and these. And in this mesh, we can also go ahead and remove these like so. And let's have a look. Let's go ahead and remove this, these, and this edge. We'll go ahead and remove this edge. It looks like we can also remove this edge here. That looks pretty good. And let's go ahead and select all this and choose auto smooth. And actually we're going to do some manual smoothing here. So let's take this, this, and this. Yeah, so this is all in the same group. So let's take this one, let's take these and separate these into group 2. And let me think here. Okay, let's undo this. Let's just undo all this for now. clear all. Okay, so let's take this, 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 and this. Set this to 1. Actually, we can do this on the outer pieces also. Set this to 1. And we can set this to 2. And let's go ahead and set this to 3. And these ones to 4. So we're just setting up some quick smoothing groups here. All right, once we've done that, let's go ahead and choose high selection. All right, now we need to deal with this piece of geometry, so we can just go ahead and delete the turbo smooth. And again, we just want to go ahead, right click, convert this one into a poly, and we're just going to remove these additional edges here. Something like this. And we're almost finished here. So we can remove these. Okay. Let's have a look. Alright, so that's that almost dealt with. Now what we also need to do is remove a lot of this geometry right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to select some of these. And I just want to try and retain the profile here. So I'm just going to remove as many as I can, and I'm just doing this by hand. So just double clicking and doing this. Now, as we want this to be equal, it's probably going to be worthwhile actually going down the center here and deleting this, and then just adding the symmetry back on top. So that's something we can also do. So let's see, I'm doing about 5 at a time, and hopefully this should retain enough of that curved edge. So I'm just double clicking and then holding down the left control, and that allows me to create that ring selection. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video, and I'll come back once I've cleaned all this up. Alright, so I'm back here. I've gone ahead and cleaned up some of those edges. Now you can go ahead if you like and remove more than what I have if you want a mesh that is a little lower. But for the purpose of this, I'm not really going to bother too much. I just want to keep it fairly low and quite clean. So I'm also going to go ahead and delete some of these supporting edges here, and we can go ahead and get some of that information baked into our normal map here. So just looking around and make sure everything looks pretty good. So I think everything looks pretty good. We have this faceted look here, which we don't want. So let's go ahead and choose auto smooth, and that should clear up that. Okay, so once we've done that, we can go ahead, take this, and we can go and add our symmetry back on top, and go ahead and choose flip. And I'm going to convert this to an export poly, and I'm just going to go ahead, take these middle sections and make sure that everything is welded properly. So it's like this is welded, and it's like this is welded. Okay, then we right click and choose high selection. Alright, let's move on. So the next thing is we have these grilled pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to remove the symmetry. And I am going to remove the turbo smooth, and then I'm just going to go ahead and let's have a look at this. Okay, so it looks like we need that turbo smooth on there. What that's going to do is going to give us some geometry here. So the quickest way to deal with this is to do this. Okay, so let's go back to the let's go ahead and remove those pieces here. Let's go ahead and add some connects here, maybe 4, and then we'll go back to our X1s. Now you see we have this shape that has been nicely bent back into position, so it's back to realistic. Okay, and at this point what we can do is we can convert this to an export poly, and all we really want to do here is go to the left view, and we basically just want to remove all of this middle section here. So let's go ahead and do something like this. Let's go and take all of this and choose loop, and let's go ahead and remove this. And we can also go ahead and delete all these pieces, just like so. Delete this and this and this, okay. And then we're gonna go and delete these pieces and this extra piece right here. And we can do the same down here. Let's go ahead and remove these edges right here. And let's go ahead and delete this extra piece. Let's go ahead and delete this. Oops. And then we can go ahead and choose bridge, and we just want to bridge this over like so. So let's bridge this and this. And it looks like we can't bridge that CY. Okay, the reason we can't bridge is because there is still some data in here. So let's go ahead and delete all that. I was pretty sure I just removed this, but that's okay. We can fix that. So let's just quickly go ahead and delete all these pieces. Let's go and choose delete, and I'm pretty sure, yep, it's going to be here on the top also. Okay, let's just go ahead and select all of these like so. And we'll go ahead and deselect this. And okay, I see what's happened. So it looks like it wasn't removed properly, but that's okay. So all we gotta do is just take all these. Let's go ahead and take all these pieces, all these vertexes. Okay. Let's do this. Let's convert these. And let's go ahead and remove them. Like so. And let's go ahead and do the same here. Let's just add a connect here to fix this. There we go. Then we can delete this and this and this and this and this one and this one. Okay, and let's go ahead and delete this piece. And we probably need to go ahead and also remove these extra pieces of vertexes right here. This one, and hopefully that's fixed everything. Let's have a look. Okay, now we should be able to go and bridge these pieces together. Yep, there we go. And that's almost it. We need to go ahead and fix this over here, and we can delete this, and then we can go ahead and remove this outer border, just like so. And that's all, and let's just go ahead and weld everything. Okay, so this is where our speaker is going to be. So what we can do is we can take this, and let's go ahead and set one over here. 2 here. Let's take the top and the bottom and set this to be 3. So that should fix that. Although it looks like there's still some smoothing issue. But that should be okay. I think it's going to be okay. We'll see later. Okay, so what we can do is we can go ahead and add our symmetry back on top. Flip and convert this to municipal poly. And before I do that, okay, let me try increase the smoothing amount here to maybe 60. Might give us a smoother result. Okay, let's just leave about 45 for now, and we should be able to fix it later. So let's convert this to an municipal poly, and let's go ahead and choose high selection. Okay, so the last thing to do now is to deal with these pieces. Now, as we can just simply duplicate these over, we're just going to deal with just these ones for now. So let's take this and delete this. And what we need to do here is select 1, 2, and maybe 3, and then let's choose ring and loop. Oops. We're going to choose loop, there we go. And let's do that one more time. Just like so. And we can also take the inner side of this and delete it. And let's have a look over here. We can probably take this piece and delete that. And then we can, well, we're going to keep this open for now because we're going to duplicate this over in a moment. So with that being said, let's go ahead and close this. And let's create a new cylinder for this one. And once we've done that, let's go and set the height down. Set this to maybe 32. So there is still some segments to this. Let's go and choose a line, and let's align this to the center of this. And let's push this back. Let's make this slightly smaller than the original piece. Convert it to a municipal poly. Let's go ahead and take this. Let's go ahead and pull this out. And scale this in to something like so. And we can go ahead and delete this. Alright, once we've done that, we can go ahead and delete the high poly. Oh, yeah, we can delete the high poly mesh, sorry. And we can just fix this so it's just on the inside. There we go. And we can go ahead and press M, and let's go ahead and apply this to both of these. And then we can also go ahead and set this to be black, and then let's just go ahead and place this into position over here. So something like this. And then we can take this and delete it. So that's that piece complete. And lastly, we only have this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take this, delete, and let's bring up the ribbon here. And let's go to edges, and we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, ring, oops, and loop, and remove, and do that one more time. So it's 2 in this case if you want to. Now in this case, I'm going to also go ahead, loop this. Actually, let's go ahead and do this one, this one, this one, and delete. Going to do some manual looping here again, because we can most likely get this in the bake. So we can erase this and let's have a look here on the inside. In this case, I'm going to leave this slightly. I was going to leave it slightly open, but I guess I'm going to remove it so it's something like this. So it's has a little more of a smooth transition, and we are almost finished here. So let's go 1, 2, and remove. All right, and for this, we can just remove. Oops, just remove the turbo smooth. The same thing here. 1, 2. Let's open up the ribbon. Ring, loop, remove, and ring, loop, remove. And again, we can just 1, 2, delete. Remove this. There we go. And again, we just want to go ahead and create a new cylinder. So let's go ahead and choose cylinder. Okay, and in this particular case, we are going to go ahead and align this over here and press left. Now, if you remember, we have to rotate this. So let's just turn off the snaps for this. And let's just try and do this by eye here. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this over to local. So we move this along the local axis. Then convert this to an export poly. And again, set this to local. So I can pull this out on the local axis also and scale this in. Perhaps scale this down a little. And push this up. Let's go ahead and delete this. And we'll go ahead and delete this. And let's go ahead and make a copy. And scale this down. It's now something like this. And push this in. And this one looks as if it's a little smaller. Now I do notice there is a slight, it looks like there's a slight issue with the shape here. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so there is a slight issue. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's go and set this back to world. And let's just scale this into position. So it just looks like maybe we can do some manual scaling here. Let's have a look. I don't know how this got out, but it should be okay. Anyway, so once we've done that, let's go ahead and delete the high poly mesh. Press M, apply this, delete this, and let's pull this out. There we go, looks like it matches. Okay, now let's go ahead and take this, and again we're gonna copy this over here. There we go, and then we can go ahead and take our high poly mesh and simply go ahead and delete them. Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and unhide everything, and it's going to ask us, do we want to unhide the low poly mesh? Choose no. And that's it. So now we've gone ahead and we've created our low poly mesh. Last thing to do is to take one of these pieces, and we're going to go ahead and choose attach. I'm going to select everything, and then we're going to call this low, let's go mesh, and then we can go to file, save as, and we can just go ahead and save this. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this onto my desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and save this over to the into a separate file, ready for UV unwrapping and baking. So with that being said, we have gone ahead and generated our low poly mesh, and in the next video we're going to look at how we can unwrap this. So until then, I'd like to thank you for watching, and bye bye for now.